Is making money from YouTube day one actually possible? Yes, but only if you do it the right way. There are tons of videos out there telling you that you can make money anywhere and everywhere on YouTube. But I have seen some really bad and misleading advice about this topic. I worked with hundreds of channels and I know the real truth about what works and what doesn't. And what real life people, not people with millions of subscribers, like real life people are actually doing to make money on YouTube with a very small channel. And I'm gonna pull back the curtain to show you how you can actually make money with very little views or subscribers. Ladies, class is in session. Let's start with the monetization diamond. There are 4 ways to make money on YouTube: AdSense, affiliates, brand deals, and your own products and services. I cover this in depth in a whole nother video, so you're gonna wanna check that one out next. And I've got my handy dandy drawing here, but today we're gonna go through each of these really quickly because you can't make money at the beginning from all 4 of these. AdSense, you need 1,000 subscribers, so we're not gonna do that. Brand deals, the reality is that brands pay for your existing audience. They want to get their products in front of your audience. When you don't really have an audience, you're not gonna get any deals. What I have been seeing is that brands generally like to see a minimum consistent 10K views of video before they feel comfortable collaborating with a creator. That's not always the case, especially if you are in a very niche audience, but bottom line, you need some followers here and consistent views. Now, affiliates, that's another one. I'll be honest, it is hard to make real money without consistent views and a loyal audience. I usually say you need roughly 1,000 views of video at a minimum to make any kind of traction here. So that leaves one option: your own stuff. Okay, this is really exciting if you already have a business or an idea of what you want to sell and you're coming onto YouTube to promote that business. Yay, it's great. You can make sales from day one. So the easiest way to make money from day one is to offer some kind of service. No product creation is required here, just your own expertise. This is great for those of you who already have an existing service that you sell. But if you don't, this is a really good place to start because it's easy. You just sell some of your time. Take, for example, Andrea. She started her brand new small YouTube channel with doing interior design consulting. And she started getting clients right away with low pricing to build that experience since she had never really done that before. She wanted to build testimonials. She wanted to build experience. Now we have Emily, who's an aesthetic PA who has a local Los Angeles business where she does fillers, Sculptra, all the face stuff, right? Now YouTube has brought her clients who flew in from other states. And she started promoting that business from day one of her YouTube channel. And now, years later, she has to hire a special assistant to take care of all the inbound leads that she gets from that channel. We have Shelly, who's a dietitian for women over 50, who promoted her own consulting from day one of her channel. And now we have Tracy Gold. She's a personal stylist, and same thing. She offered services from day one and still does it to this day. Same here with me. This is a brand new channel here. Not a lot of subscribers, not a ton of views yet, and I am making sure to promote my products and services with the videos on this channel, and I'm already seeing leads from that. It is absolutely doable to make money with your service with a small audience, especially the more niche that you are. When you're niche and you're targeting your viewers with your content, it is much easier to do that than when you have a very broad type of audience and niche. Will you get more sales and make more money with a larger audience? Yes, you will. And that is a goal with your YouTube channel. It's to focus on growing your audience, especially at the beginning. But you don't need to wait until you have that bigger size to start talking about and promoting your services. And I'm going to talk about the right way to do that in a little bit. Bottom line, if you don't have a product yet, sell your service, sell yourself, sell your time, sell your expertise, consulting, coaching, whatever it is that you're good at. If you're brand new to this, I would suggest starting with lower pricing because you haven't established yourself yet. This is especially true if you're brand new in general and you don't have any type of social following or any type of experience. Start charging low to get that experience, that client base, those testimonials. That's what I did many years ago, and years later it worked. And eventually you're going to charge more once your channel has grown, once your name and personal brand has grown, once you have those testimonials. If you already have an existing business, you keep going with your current pricing because you're proven you've been doing this with other people, and it's just YouTube that's new, and that's fine. One of the problems that I see that people make is they say they want to sell something on their YouTube channel and they have a product or service, but they're not getting people to sign up. You don't want to hide the fact that you're doing this. I think a lot of people come across and they're afraid of being too salesy, which is totally understandable. We don't want your channel to be a QVC. Okay, you are not a home shopping network. There are channels that are like that on YouTube, and that's great. That's a whole nother ballgame. But if you have a certain product and service that you're looking to sell, you want to do it the right way where it doesn't turn off people, it doesn't hurt the growth of your channel, but it still allows people to know about what you do in case they're interested. There's a subtle way to do it. What you're going to do instead of hawking your product and service in a very obvious way is drop little seeds throughout your video. So you do it like this. One of my clients did this. The other day when I was talking to my clients, one time when I talked to my clients, my client asked me this, or in my community somebody said, in my group somebody said, or in our group this conversation happened. What you're doing is you're creating FOMO. You're making it sound exciting, exclusive, without you blatantly saying, I have a product I'm selling, I have a service I do. You're letting people know about it in a subtle way so that there's FOMO. They're like, wait, what is that? I want to know what it is. Let me see. And then they will find your link in the description. Make sure you put it in the description. Make sure you pin a comment with that link. Make it obvious. But if you don't drop those little hints throughout your video and create FOMO around what you do and what you offer, nobody's really going to know about it. And if you do the opposite and you treat it like a QVC and all you do is talk about your offer and you're basically selling it, people get turned off as well. You want to think hint, don't hype, okay? Hint, don't hype. That is the #1 hack for sales with your YouTube content. I think that goes for everybody, no matter what level you're at on YouTube. Hint, don't hype. Another option of making money, if you don't already have an existing product or service, is to start a membership or community. I personally absolutely love School. It's a newer online membership platform that in my eyes replaces Facebook and all these other places that people created groups. You can start a School group for as little as $9 a month. There, I sound like a QVC person, but no, really, it's only $9 a month. It's so cheap. And it's a great complement to your YouTube channel. I'm encouraging a lot of my clients and my students in my bootcamp to consider using School as a community builder and monetization option. I do have a link below for that as well. Here's a specific strategy for starting some kind of membership or group if you don't already have an existing audience. I would suggest making it free at first. You want to make sure you're getting at least 30, 40, 50, even 100 people that are active in there so that you are creating an asset. If there's nobody in there, why would anybody want to join if it's crickets? I would start with making it free, and then until you get to the point where you feel like it's very active, it's got its own pulse and heartbeat, and people are commenting and talking and there is a community there, that's the point where I would then charge for the group. I would keep the existing people grandfathered in for free, come up with some kind of higher tier that you can charge them, add something more like calls or something like that. It's a great additional source of income. And the other thing that's really great about School that I love is the fact that it has its own internal search engine. If you have a very niche audience or something really specific, then your School group possibly can be found within School as well. And then I know a lot of people are also using very low cost ads to get people into their School group. So I'm loving School right now. I'm really encouraging a lot of my students to do it. I'm working closely with a couple of my clients as I'm helping them build out their School and using YouTube as a lead gen for that. I use School personally for my YouTube bootcamp, so I'm a big fan. Now, the next thing I had to talk about are digital products. I'll be honest, with a small YouTube channel, this one doesn't get me super excited, and I'm gonna explain why. AI makes creating digital products easier than ever, but there's pros and cons of that. The pros is it's easier. The cons is that anybody can do it. The competition is really fierce because of that. Here's my take. If you're truly brand new on YouTube, you really don't have any followers at all, and you're looking for a way to make money, you'll make more money and probably get more from your time by doing what I said earlier, selling a service or your time or coaching. Jumping into the lower ticket digital product game can be quite difficult without any kind of following. You can do it. Don't get me wrong. You can definitely do it. You can put it out there, but will you sell a lot? Most likely, and here's the honest truth that like nobody says, most likely no. You will not sell that much. To really make a significant amount of money or anything worthwhile with smaller digital products, you have to be someone like a Maria Went. If you don't know who Maria Went is, she's like the queen of digital products, but you can make it happen, don't get me wrong. And YouTube is a great place for that, but you need a large audience. I think Maria spends like $1 million a month on ads, something like that, maybe several million a year. I don't know. It's a lot of money on ads. She has huge followings. She's just one example. And there are a lot of people that very successfully sell digital products online. Don't get me wrong. But to do it with absolutely no audience whatsoever, it's pretty impossible. And the only reason you would do it now is so that you have it, so that when you do blow up and you do grow on YouTube, you have those digital products in place so that people can purchase them. It's not a bad idea to do, but the competition is fierce. And to make any meaningful income, you need to have a significant size audience or a decent sized budget to pay for ads. While it is an option, I think there are other better options like having your own service. And for many people too, low ticket products is an ascension to a higher price offer. So if you already have a higher price offer or you're already doing that, great, that's awesome. The reality is if you're going to go on brand new on YouTube and say, I'm going to create some digital products with no ascension, with no option for people to pay more for more services or a group coaching program, I hate to say it, but I don't say it's like a waste of time. It's just a lot of effort for not a big result. Since we're on the topic of making money with your YouTube channel, I could not pass up the opportunity to talk about building an email list. And here's what I really need you to hear. Start building your email list now. You won't make money from it immediately, especially if you don't really have an audience yet, but it becomes an asset alongside your YouTube channel. I want you to think of it this way. YouTube is the magnet and your email list is the selling tool. Offer something of value for free and then send a weekly or monthly newsletter packed with value. I think this is definitely something that you should get started on immediately, right from the beginning. It doesn't hurt to just start gathering emails right away. Over time, that newsletter will become a very powerful way to sell affiliates, brands. You could do brand collaborations with an email to sell your own products and services, whatever it is. You're building that asset alongside the asset of YouTube and they complement each other wonderfully. Personally, I use ConvertKit. I started with MailerLite, which I think is really great for beginners. I know a lot of people use MailChimp and Flowdesk. There's a lot of them out there. But I have clients that have, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 50,000 YouTube subscribers making some serious money from their email list. And here's the one thing that they all said is, I wish I had started this email list sooner. And so when I start working with somebody right away, one-on-one, I always say, do you have an email list? Is this something you want to build? Do you want to put some time into it? I know if you're new to YouTube, there's a lot of time and energy that needs to be put into starting your YouTube channel. But when you have a little breathing space, I would highly suggest launching your email list. And if you want a whole video on that, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. I think people overcomplicate it, but the idea is give something for free, something super valuable to get those emails on your list. And a lot of people think that they need a bigger following to start an email list. That is totally not true. As long as you're sending something of valuable and have something valuable to offer to people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have 0 subscribers or views or 1 million. Everyone says they wish they started their email list sooner. Don't be one of those people. Now, this strategy works once you figured out what it is that you're going to sell on your channel, whether it's a service, a product, a group. You're going to want to create one video, which is called the video sales letter on your channel. This video is all about your offer, your product, your service. It won't necessarily get a ton of views. In fact, I wouldn't make it a regular video. For example, if you upload once a week, I would make it a second bonus video. I wouldn't make it your main video for the week. But the reason why this is a good idea is because this is what I called a reference video. So anytime you're talking about your product or service without having to QVC it, you can just say, oh, and if you want more information about it, I did a video right here. And it could even be a unlisted or private video, but you can make it public as well. And sometimes what I tell people is just make it a channel trailer. And in that way, they know right away, like who you are, what you're about. There could be a little bit of history of you and what you're doing and how you work with people and what you offer. And then same thing, you can even list it in the description of your videos. You can say, oh, to learn more about my services, click here. It could be unlisted. It's not going to be a video that's going to get you new people, but it is great for your existing people, your existing followers, as new people start to come in from your other videos to see that and see what you have to offer. I have an old one that I have on my other channel that I'll link below. I literally just filmed my newest one. I've been working on a new one for a little while, so this is very much top of mind. And once that is ready, I'll share that here as well. We're going to talk about the biggest mistakes that I see people that are making, that are trying to earn on their YouTube channel on the early side without a lot of views and subscribers. I'm going to get a little bit salty here and rant for a minute just because I see so much advice out there that is really, really bad on this topic. Because like I said, I've worked with a lot of people. I know what's actually really happening and how people are actually making money. Number one mistake is focusing on affiliates too early. I get really, really annoyed when I see people teach about making affiliates with small audiences. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I want to get a little bit deeper in it here. Do you know how rare it is for somebody to actually make a significant income? We're talking a living wage from affiliates with a small audience. The only way it's possible if it's a very, very niche audience and the products that they're selling are pretty expensive. That might work, but even then, it's a lot harder with a small audience than a mid-sized audience. I would not waste time on affiliates unless you're getting at least 1,000 views per video. It's kind of a lot of work to get those links and put them in there, and then you're creating your content around talking about those products. I'm not talking to you ladies here who have shopping related channels or beauty, fashion, those kind of channels, those channels are more of like a QVC type channel where they're shopping channels, we're talking about products. If your niche is talking about products, then disregard this because that's a totally different ballgame. I work with a ton of you guys. This is not really talking to you. I'm more talking to people who are in a very specific niche that the channel isn't necessarily a product review channel, but it is a niche channel. And yes, there are probably products and things that you could recommend, and you should always put them in your description. If there's a certain product that you really love, like yes, put it in the description of your videos. But if we're talking about you creating a whole strategy around trying to get these affiliates with very small views, it's very difficult to do. Realistically speaking, unless you have over 1,000, 1,500 views a video, you're not gonna get a lot in affiliate sales. But like I said, if your video channel from day one is about product reviews and kind of what I call a shopping channel, a QVC type channel, then this doesn't really apply. You need to start building that audience. So you won't probably make a lot of affiliate at the beginning, but that's the kind of content you're creating. So you need to attract those viewers and build up your channel that way. But if you're not in that world, then I would not worry about affiliates at the beginning. I think you can always put it in the description. You can always, obviously mention the products, but your initial goal isn't to make money from those affiliates, because what happens is that people will end up planning their content around that, and that might not necessarily be the content that people want or that people will watch or they'll click on. So it can actually hurt your growth strategy by focusing on affiliates too early if that's not the type of channel that you have. Mistake number 2 is creating physical products too early. So unless you already have an existing physical product, then by all means you should be mentioning it, putting it in, attaching your Shopify store, doing all those things from day one. I'm more talking to people that don't have any kind of physical product and they're thinking, okay, I have a YouTube channel and I want to create this physical product. I would hold off until you have an actual audience, because once you have an actual audience, there's so many better ways that you can create that physical product where you can involve them, you can get feedback from them, and then you're not stuck with a bunch of inventory and spending a bunch of money on something that might not really sell because you just don't have the audience that can support that. So bottom line, don't buy or create inventory unless you have the audience to support it. That is, unless you already have an existing product. At what point should you start considering creating a product if you want? I would say minimum of 5,000 to 10,000 views per video. And I'm not talking about digital products. I'm talking about like a physical product. So there's usually a lot of work and energy and money involved in that. So you really want to make sure you've got that audience to support it. So mistake number 3 is optimizing for conversions over views. This is another piece of advice that really infuriates me. Your focus here on your YouTube channel is to grow your YouTube channel, especially at the beginning. That should be your goal. That should be your focus. It shouldn't necessarily be to make money from day one. Can you make money from day one? Yes, and I just gave you ideas of how to do it. But you don't want to lose track of the long-term goal here, because what we're building here is we're building a long-term income asset. You're going to make money from this long-term. You don't want to get sidetracked and distracted by some of those quick little wins. If you actually want to make serious money on your channel in the future, optimize for views from the start. Once you have that loyal audience, that bigger audience, there is a lot that you can do to optimize for sales and conversions, and that is what I teach in my YouTube bootcamp. But as a brand new channel, a beginner, you do need to get the views. You need to start building up the community. So you need to give as much value as you possibly can so that you're worth subscribing to, you're worth watching, you're worth coming back again and again and again. You can definitely list your products in the description and pin a comment and hint, not hype, just kind of drop little seeds. But your focus should really be on getting people to watch your videos and choosing video topics around that. The goal is to get people to your channel, binge your videos, and build trust. Trust is your number 1 priority. Don't put the cart before the horse. Sales comes after the trust. Optimize for views. Trust builds your channel. Trust builds your income. And we are playing the long game here, ladies. Mistake number 4 I see is choosing your niche based on purely the income potential. If you don't know what your niche is already, I do have a whole other video on that, so you might want to check that out. Really bad advice I see out there is telling people to pick a niche based off of the monetization potential that it has. While you do want to consider how you're going to make money with your niche, that is one important thing to consider. It's one of 4 very important things that you want to think about. So it can't be the only thing that you think about. If you want to know what all 4 are, go to that video because I detail the whole thing. I won't tell you to pick a niche just for the potential of making money. It's a very personal decision and a lot needs to go into it. That's part of it, but not all of it. And it might not be what drives the decision decision that you make about your channel niche. I can't give you all of this money-making advice and telling you about the mistakes without giving you the most important insight that I can about this topic. And that's the high-level strategy for growing a long-term income asset. I always say long form, long game. And we want to remember what we're doing here, ladies. We're building a long-term asset. We're not looking to create a quick buck. I know people love this type of video, and this is why I put it out there. I want to share information so that you can get those quick wins, but you don't want to be distracted by those quick wins. It's nice to be able to make money from the start. Don't get me wrong, and there's certain really important things that you should start considering and think about, like building your email list, possibly building a community. Those are things that I wanted you to know about. But what I'm going to share with you right now is the real message and the heart of what I truly believe. Do not start out creating content as a brand new YouTuber just to make the money. I know it sounds backwards in a video about making money from YouTube on day one, but really listen to me on this. If money is your only goal, you will lose sight of what actually matters, which is serving your viewers. You'll hold back, you'll be afraid of giving too much, and when you hold back, your content suffers, and also if you're not focusing on serving the audience and you're focusing on how you can make money from them, people sense that, and bad content doesn't get views. So focus on giving maximum value in every video. Focus on your viewer first. Focus on that being the most important thing that you're thinking about when you're coming up with your video topics, not whether or not this video on your brand new channel is going to make you money right away. We do think about that later on as a channel grows. The monetization strategy for every single video becomes extremely important later on. But right now, when you're just starting, you should be focusing on exactly how you're going to bring people into your world. The goal right now is to provide as much value as you possibly can. And when you do that, people will start to notice. They will appreciate it, and then they will want more from you. Your real goal on YouTube right now is to build trust. Trust is what makes you money. Trust and value will earn you far more in the long run than short-sighting yourself and chasing those quick sales at the beginning. You can make money early. It's a nice bonus, but it is not the main plan. And honestly, I'd keep your day job. Don't quit for your YouTube income on day one. I love the book Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she always talks about when you have a creative platform or process or you're doing something creatively, the worst thing to do is to try and monetize from that early on. It's a little unrealistic in the book. She says if you could not monetize it from at all, that's ideal, but that's not realistic. If you can wait as long as possible to monetize it, you're allowing yourself and your creative self to truly, truly live in a place that can have fun, that can be a playground, that will create magic. The book is called Big Magic. And sometimes when you're so focused on making money from the beginning, you don't allow that creativity to come through, and therefore your content suffers. That's why I'm sharing this with you, is that the most important thing is that you make the best content possible. That, at the end of the day, is what's gonna make you successful on YouTube. You wanna make money from it, yes. But from day one, you're gonna be a YouTube creator, you're gonna create content on YouTube, you've gotta focus on creating content. And then from there, you'll build trust, and with the trust, the sales work up. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you had any questions or if there's anything that resonated. If you wanna learn more from me, I'm gonna put the video up about creating your niche and then also about making your first $100,000 on YouTube. If you wanna work with me directly, I have my YouTube bootcamp, so definitely check it out. There is a wait list there. And until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. Mwah.